It came on pretty quick, and it was just waves. I started panicking. She scared the living daylights out of me.
I've been a lot of things in my life. I've been a bank robber and a prisoner, but being a shaman is my calling. Ayahuasca is a Schedule I narcotic, the same as heroin and LSD. But it's not a drug, it's medicine. And in my church, it's a sacrament. We can do in 2 days what conventional therapy may take years to do, but only if you are willing to step into the pain. Tony York's restaurant was a breath of fresh air for me. After I'd served time in prison, I'd gotten out, I got car payments to make, I got rent. So I took this job working here at Tony York's restaurant. Chef, cook, bottle washer, anything he asked me to do.
One day, Steve came to me and said, in case someone says something to you, I am a convicted bank robber, but I have served my time. And basically, I laughed and said, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, but you're not wanted now? And he's like, no. And I'm like, hey, man, if you've served your time, it's no problem for me, man.
That was one of the few times that I've ever told somebody about my past that they just openly accepted me without any further information. Now, the harder part of that conversation is when I had to tell him I robbed the bank across the street. Even as I sat here, my adrenaline's starting to pump a little bit. I sat right in this exact location several times, looking right over there, watching the employees park, seeing who was coming and going at the bank, finding the cycles of the bank. This bank was picked off of maps and satellite imaging. And the reason was it's within 4 miles of an interstate. We're within about 6 miles of a county line. Mind you, I ain't dumb. I'm not gonna walk in there in camo and ski mask so everybody knows what I'm doing. I'm gonna come in dressed as an old man, hiding my identity. I want you to imagine what it's like when you walk into that fucking bank, when you grab a hold of that door and everything in you goes to ice. You never know what's gonna happen in that bank the moment you say this is a robbery. I've had tellers sit down and pee themselves right in the middle of the floor. I've had other people who all they did was just blank out and they wouldn't understand what you were telling. I was fortunate I had a very experienced older teller behind the counter, and she never batted an eye and never blinked, and boom, 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 the money was in the bags, there was no die packs, and I was out the door with my heart in my throat. When you're coming out hot like that, and especially if shit has gone wrong and all of a sudden there's a cop where it wasn't supposed to be, and the next thing you know, bam, bam, the glass is shattering around you and you're fucking ducking and dodging and fucking shit's happening so fast. I'm taking curves as fast as I can. My heart is still fucking pounding, but it's just starting to slow. I'm coming up on the church where I'm gonna switch out this stolen ride. This is where I jump out. I got a vehicle parked right there that's clean. I take that vehicle and I go home. I had just committed my 17th bank robbery. 15 years, 16 years later, I'm across the street washing dishes, which at the time was humiliating, but guess what? I see this was the other side testing me to no end. You know, making sure I had just enough money to barely get what I need while dangling this carrot right here. Because you know how many times I sat in Tony's parking lot watching the armored car pull up and looking at my watch going, damn, that bitch comes every day at 2 o'clock. You know how many times I sat here and watched every member of this bank go in there, knowing damn good and well the only thing that stood between me and $280,000 was 2 women and a glass door. You talk about a test. This was my test, and I passed because I didn't hit it.
military and U.S. Army just brings up a lot of pride and love for me. I came from a military family many generations back. I wanted to help people, I wanted to do something good, and that was my avenue to do it at the time. But at the same time, being in the military has given me it's given me PTSD. I've come home from Afghanistan with PTSD. I was this badass medic over in Afghanistan. Like, I ran up a mountain while people were shooting RPGs and AKs at us like it was nothing. And now you want me to go to the grocery store, and sometimes I'm not doing it. The last time my PTSD was triggered, there was a really drunk dude and the bartender had cut him off. I just looked at him and said, dude, she's just cutting you off. Go home, you're stupid drunk. And he told me to go back to Afghanistan and die. And the next thing I knew, I was outside with him pinned up against the wall by his throat. From taking part in this ceremony, I am hoping that I will finally fully process at least one of the situations from Afghanistan.
I have seasonal bipolar disorder, and it's very difficult for me to function in society. In the summertime, I feel invincible, like I can do anything. And then in the winter, it's kind of like the story of Cinderella. When the clock strikes midnight, the carriage turns to a pumpkin and everything just kind of falls apart. So this is me right here. I do ask my parents for money because I'm unable to work during the winter. That part's still kind of embarrassing, being 24 and living at home. What I hope to gain from this is definitely the ability to live on my own and not be worried about falling into this depression again.
If you all would like to get your stuff, we're going to go downstairs and show you all the ceremony area and where you will be staying the next 2 days.
Hello. Please take a seat. Place your bags over there next to a bed.
For this ceremony, we have Brenna coming up from Florida, Walter, who's from here in Kentucky, and we have Travis from Indiana.
When I first laid eyes on this group as they came down the stairs one by one, of course, my first sense was tension. I mean, their body language, they were bound up tight. You could tell it almost even hurt them to speak. Walter is a returning member. I love having returning members coming into the ceremony because those are the people who remember much more closely that first cup that was in front of them, how harrowing it was to get through that first experience so you could learn to trust Mother Aya.
Main thing I could advise you right now is just relax. It's all gonna be good. I know that's easier said than done. I remember my first cup as it was set in front of me, and it was unnerving, and rightfully so. This is no little thing. Now, Terry will be pouring your cups tonight. Terry will be in charge of your drink. And so we're gonna start you off incrementally. We're not here to throw you off a cliff. Your first night, we're here to get you your balance within the medicine. It's kind of like alcohol, okay? You ever been out drinking and 2 or 3 beers, you're feeling pretty good. Get to 6 or 7, instant asshole. Well, it's kind of like that with ayahuasca. Too much is not good because what'll happen, you'll get overwhelmed and you'll become fearful. I have done this personally over 400 times. Trust us. This lady right here has gotten more people through rough experiences and rough patches. It's phenomenal how she handles them. The same with Talawi. Nick has a view that I swear is very calming, very grounding.
Trust the medicine, trust yourselves, and trust us.
My fear of taking Aya is that it doesn't do the positive work for me and that instead I come away feeling even worse about my life.
When I got that glass in my hand, I just thought to myself, here we go, you know, strap in for it. You're fixing to be on a ride.
Once they drink that cup, there is no turning back. There is no ayahuasca antidote. There is only one thing that will take ayahuasca off of you, and that is time.
Ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic tea made with plants from the Amazon, and it is the strongest psychedelic known to man. But this isn't like LSD. Ayahuasca is a portal to your inner self, your subconscious. And through that portal, you're gonna meet a goddess we call Mother Aya. When your journey first takes off, you may feel euphoria until boom, the spike hits and the purge begins. You may laugh, you may cry, and you may do both at the same time. You may puke or shit. But each of those purges are a physical manifestation of an emotional release. That's when you truly find healing.
You ready for more, babe?
Yes, ma'am. When I was in the throes of addiction, my vice was pain pills. I started getting a lot of anxiety when I was younger, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Then I started having family issues.
That never gets old.
Things really got bad right after high school, and I fell into a depression. I felt worthless, and all of a sudden, you know, somebody just reached out their hand and there was a pill in it. And, you know, I took it, and then it was like, wow. I mean, it did make me feel better about myself. It was a reprieve from all this negative self-talk that was going on. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I had no idea that there was physical dependency in store, withdrawal in store. You know, I went through about 2 years right before I got sober of trying to, you know, to break that physical addiction. Once I got sober back in 2009, a lot of these anxieties that I've carried with me came back. And being sober, there's no drink, there's no drug to turn to. I can't say that ayahuasca saved my life, but she's brought me back to life.
And again, remember to breathe.
Yes. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
I would like everybody just to like sit straight and close your eyes and take a really deep breath. Then feel like your lungs expanding, your ribs, the diaphragm coming down, your belly out. Exhale, belly in, closing the ribs, contracting your lungs. Breathing consciously. It's like a massage for our heart. And it's like my breath is making love to me, so I'm feeling so blissful with every breath I'm taking because I'm making love to myself breathing. Hyper breathing creates a lot of oxygen in the body, and eventually the oxygen helps to release the DMT on your own brain. Inhale again, as deep as you can. Exhale. Slowly, easy, relax your shoulders, your head, feel the weight on your sitting bones. And from your belly, we start out. So inhale. And keep doing it. Inhale. If they're tense from an experience and just nervous for being here itself, it creates more space in the body for the Aya to travel, you know, in every part of your body. So it's not stopped by blockages of tension, for example, because all of those layers you can feel while you are on a journey. So there is, you know, the breath is everything. You don't need to have even ceremonies to heal. You can heal with your breath, having a conscious breathing. Breathe, because your breath is everything.
People watch me drink in ceremony. You don't realize all the multitasking I'm doing, even when it looks like I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm watching the spirits, I'm seeing them enter the room, I'm feeling them. Mother Aya is walking by and just caressing me across my neck. She's just letting me know I'm here and all's good. But to you, it's gonna appear like nothing's going on with me. I want you to think of me like a service dog. And when the spirits put on my harness and they buckle me up, that's when I'm working. I'm in the harness of a shaman, and I'm in flow, and I'm in touch. But when the harness is off and the ceremony is over, I am just like you.
It came on pretty quick and I started to feel relaxed. The muscle tension started kind of dropping out. It kind of helped settle me in. I was a medic for the Army for 8 years. I was on a FOB with 250 guys, and I was the senior medical person on that FOB. I did some surgeries while I was over there, and a lot of stuff that some paramedics and nurses don't get to do stateside. My job was to get them back home to their wives and kids and parents. Personally, I lost seven U.S. soldiers. You can't save everybody. Still, I have a really hard time accepting that fact. So.
Could you follow me?
Yeah.
You could tell from Brenna, first meeting her and her energy, she had a lot going on behind the scenes. She wore her mask well, yet you could tell it was a mask. She was in a lot of spiritual agony. I served in the Army for 3 years, and I know what soldiers go through.
Starting to feel the medicine
Yeah.
take effect? Well, I'm gonna ask you to trust the soldier one more time. With PTSD, what I have found working with people with it, there is no normal, because there is no normal event that causes PTSD. For some, it's one huge big trauma that rocks their world. For others, it's drops of rain that finally drowns them. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to take me back to that time. What do you feel was your greatest moment and your greatest accomplishment during your service, being a medic?
I think it was a little kid that came in with a closed head injury. He was brought to us by the parents, and we kept him alive until the flight medics got there.
Would you mind sharing with me your worst? Where do you think the trauma began?
I think it was when Doc James committed suicide.
Doc James? Could you elaborate a little more on
It was August 4th,
Okay.
2008, and he had been helping people sign up for college, and he walked in his room and looked at his roommate and said, "I can't take it," and shot himself.
Was that overseas or here?
Yeah, that was in Afghanistan.
That was in Afghanistan. Just said he couldn't take it and took the way out. And I take it you were close with him,
There was only 3 medics on the FOB, so we all kind of laughed and joked together.
right? Well, all we can do is forgive ourselves, forgive those who have already crossed, and just remain open to what's going to come through.
The more you wall off and contain guilt, it seeps through the cracks. And that was very evident when I talked to Brenna. She had a person there who was a leader to her in her unit. And when he took his own life, she felt in her mind and her heart and her spirit, if this tough man that I looked up to couldn't handle the stress of this place, how do they expect me to? And at that moment, the walls started going up because she was still in a hostile environment. She still had to function. Her team depended on her, but yet the guilt of this was growing just as fast as her courage.
You want just a little bit more? Yeah.
Ayahuasca starts work. First thing I feel is kind of a physical sensation, like kind of a buzzing up in my mouth and my head. Then I feel like my feet are a mile away from me. And then I kind of start to lose sense of like having a body. Music has been my passion for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, I was walking around with cables at my dad's shows. He played for a rock band back in the 90s. It's really the only thing that I enjoy actually doing. I have seasonal bipolar disorder. It's been going on for a while, but recently, the last 5 years have been the most obvious. My slow season for what I do coincides with my depressed season, so I'm even less motivated to go out and get work. So I could be playing like every night during the summer, and then all of a sudden winter comes, I might get 2 gigs in the winter if I'm lucky. In this industry, you need to be a consistent person to, pursue a dream, to pursue a passion. You need to always be going after it. And I want that motivation and that love for life again.
When Walter first came to us, he had already dealt with a lot of his addiction demons. He had been through AA, he had been sober for 8 solid years, but somewhere along the way, this anxiety started welling up in him.
I'm nervous. A lot of these anxieties that I've carried with me for a few years now came up. Everything was magnified to the point where I felt very uneasy. I did not like the feelings that I was having. And I had this energy just turning in my chest.
Mother Aya come in that first night and she grabbed Walter by the chest and threw him on the bed. And she pulled from him his anxieties from his shadow self and brought them all to the forefront. And this really rattled him. Walter was totally off balance, and she put him through the ringer. But what he didn't understand at that moment, the spirits, they're testing him because they're very interested in working through him as well.
Talawi is very skilled in yoga, and I find that to be a very, very beautiful thing before going into the second ceremony, when Talawi's able to work with them through yoga.
Relax, bend your knees, relax your back, your head, your shoulders, your elbows.
When I woke up this morning, I felt a release from all that pressure and anxiety that I had yesterday. It takes a lot of courage to sit with ayahuasca, sit with Mother Aya, because when you're really facing all your hardcore stuff, she will bring out the good, the bad, and the ugly. When I first came across ayahuasca, my father had just passed away a few years before, and I was at a breaking point emotionally. My dad was awesome. We were close. Once he was diagnosed with lung cancer, he passed away, I think it was 3 months afterwards. After my father passed away, and I was angry at everything and everybody. Why did things have to take place like this? Why did my father have to pass away? For being such an awesome man, why did this happen to him? I started having vivid dreams, and during these dreams, I would have a black jaguar that would come and visit me. To find out that the jaguar represents ayahuasca, I felt like ayahuasca sought me out. During that first ceremony, Mother Aya made me feel love for the first time. A lot of comfort and healing has come from being in ceremony and having that experience.
Walter has been through a lot of shit in his life. He's been through addiction, he's been through ups, downs, sideways, a little bit of everything. And inevitably, in every ceremony he's in, people just tend to gravitate to him at some point. They will confide in him, and he is more than happy to sit down and, talk with them and help them out if he can. And I genuinely feel with every fiber of my being that Walter was put here to help people.
Well, hello.
Hello.
How we all doing? Ready for our second adventure?
This brew looks a little darker.
Oh, yes. A little darker, a little stronger, and gonna come at you faster.
The second night, don't come into it thinking this is going to be a roller coaster ride and woohoo, and it's going to be fun. You got to come into it knowing the seriousness of this ceremony.
Now, from here on in, you raise your hand and tell us when you want more. You're your medicine person. Find your spot.
Just because it's poured doesn't mean you have to drink. Again, this is no drinking game. This is no tough guy match. This is your healing, your journey, your individual process. The second night, I want to pull their pain from them. I want to bring it to the surface, and I want them to let it go and allow it to dissipate. I want to take them out of their comfort zone because that is where the growth is.
How you doing, baby? Are you feeling it? Starting to feel it a little bit, or? Yeah. Okay. Do you want a little more, or are you good where you're at? Okay. That's what I wanted to find out, baby. Okay.
With Brenna, when she came out of that first night, you could tell she was a lot raw. You could tell she was a little unnerved, but you could also see in her eyes that something had shifted. Not completely, but it had started. And I knew if we could get her through to the second night, she was ready to have a breakthrough like no other. And there's nobody that I wanted it more than a fellow soldier.
It came on pretty quick, and it was just waves. You'd go in deep to a vision for a little while, and then you'd kind of surface, and then you'd drop back down into it. First thing that I remember is I was put into a tube, and the tube was filled up with water. And there was a woman on the other side of the tube telling me to just, it's okay, it'll be okay, just relax. And she was just very calm, and her eyes kind of smiled. I was starting to scramble around in the tube, and as soon as I relaxed and just let the water come up over my face, it was just, went on to the next thing. And then at some point, Doc James came to me and sat with me. He told me it wasn't my fault, there was nothing I could do, it was his time to go. You know, he said that I didn't have to forget what happened in Afghanistan, I didn't have to forget my friends, but that if I didn't forgive myself, that I would never get better and I would just keep getting worse. He just made me realize I'm not God, you know, you can't save everybody. I think it was just relief that I didn't fail him, I guess.
Talawi is my apprentice, and Nick is my assistant shaman. As an assistant shaman, Nick is being taught how to brew. As an apprentice, Talawi is being taught the ceremony room right now.
They would still have another hour and 10 minutes before we would pour anybody anymore. And the reason is, since it can take up to 2 hours for them to really start feeling it.
To be an apprentice and to come in brand new, you must start from the ground up. As an apprentice, you're gonna have to come in, be willing to dump puke buckets, clean toilets, because I do it, everybody else does it, and you're not above it. You know, as an apprentice, I look at you like a shamanic healer in training. What is that acronym? You're a shit. That's what you are. We start off as shit and we end up as shit, and as a shaman, you must make peace with that. And that's exactly where you start off as a shamanic healer in training. You're a shit. Knowing that Travis was so musically inclined, I had him bring his guitar. I knew this was the quickest way to his heart. It was the quickest way to find that scar and soothe it so he could step beyond his own limitations. Now, I understand that you have seasonal depression, am I correct?
Mm.
Was there a trigger?
Yeah, I had a concert that I put a lot into, and not a lot of people showed up for it.
Well, to a lot of us, that would seem trivial, but it's not, by no means. So you put all this together.
Put it all together, yeah.
And it flopped.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you promote it?
Posters.
Posters around on telephone poles.
Yep.
And so it wasn't your gift of music.
Mm-hmm.
It was the promotion that failed you. That's called a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
a rejection of you and your art. Now, if I asked you right now to play me a song that is that is the nearest to your heart, what would it be? The one that brings you the most joy.
It'd be a song that I wrote.
Would you mind playing it for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey, pretty eyes, take it in. Don't trouble your mind, knowledge comes with time.
Travis was fragile, and that's because of his art. He's a musician, he feels things very deeply, and he expects the world to love him as he loves the world, and it kind of sets him up for a lot of pain. Did you play the whole concert to an empty audience, or what did you do?
I did. I played it out, and I gave it my best.
Put a lot into a concert that not very many people showed. And I think that is the seed of your seasonal depression.
Yeah.
You were angry at yourself, your friends, you felt abandoned. Oh, I could just imagine what you went through. An artist, their pain is their stock in trade. There will be a day that that pain puts together something so beautiful musically for you, but you got to make peace with it.
Just talking to him, strumming that guitar outside, definitely opened something up inside of me that either I closed off or, hasn't been awake for a long time. I wasn't really focused on anything else. I was just, letting this music come through me that I wrote. As the ayahuasca started hitting my system, I did feel a relaxation just come over my whole body and just a peacefulness and calmness, kind of like listening to ocean waves on the beach. What I saw in my own world was these geometrical, colorful patterns, but almost as if they were eluding me when I tried to pay too much attention to them. At one point, I felt like I was throwing watermelon out of my fingers. Yeah. I was like, look what I can do. And I thought everyone else saw it and they were laughing. There's watermelon coming out of my hands. The more I laughed, the lighter I became, and almost by laughing, I was releasing these negative blockages and energies.
Laughter is the best purge.
When I am on a ceremony, it's like the medicine itself takes over my body, and I just allow myself and the medicine just go do what it needs to be done. It can be singing, it can be moving a rattle, it can be just a quick thought, go bring some aromatherapy for this person. Take this one with you. Thank you. I do feel like I bring just a sparkle, a touch of magic into the mixture, just because magic is all over the place and I like to point it out, and that's it.
Now, I'm very interested in working with Walter as an apprentice to become a medicine man. But here's the deal. He has to choose it. Due to the way you have handled your failures through life, I am very interested in you progressing as a medicine person. But we have to see if you want to progress as a medicine person. And that's what we will be after as we enter this chamber. We're going to take ayahuasca into a hostile environment. Tonight for Walter, I set up a modern sweat lodge. This is a shamanic test. We're going to use a tent. We're going to use a propane heater to heat the tent to a high rate of temperature, and I am going to be flowing some intense energy right directly through his eyes. Walter needs to embrace the chaos of his anxiety and find his balance among it. Where do you think this anxiety comes from, Walter?
I feel it's my ego trying to remain in control.
But you have the power to influence your ego. through your inner dialogue and through your spirit. Just breathe. I know it's getting hot. It's starting to get warm. Starting to feel it a little?
Yes, sir.
How old were you when your dad passed?
35.
How did Mother Aya help you reconcile that with your father?
He came to me during the ceremony from the other side,
What did he share with you?
but he wanted me to heal, and he wanted me to step into my power.
Now, Walter, let me ask you, what was going to be your first step if that anxiety wells back up in your life?
To walk through it.
And the better part of it is you got to harness it, because that anxiety is also your ace in the hole, because that also will increase your awareness in ceremony. You know, the worst medicine man in the world is the one who thinks he has it under control.
Right.
Now, how you're not sweating right now while I got beads running down all over me is amazing.
I feel comfortable where I'm at.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We're in a womb. This is us, you and I.
An apprentice must trust your guide. Beyond anything else, he has to trust me, no matter what I put him through. And I'm not putting him through things for fun. These are ordeals. These are shamanic ordeals. That sweat lodge was a shamanic ordeal. And when he didn't have a drop of perspiration as the temperature rose, I knew the spirits were shielding him. They were protecting him. And they were also conveying to me that he is almost ready to take this step.
Well, let's sit here and just take a moment of silence and kind of enjoy our energy together.
Yes, sir.
That work?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
When I was sitting in the tent, Mother Aya came to me and she showed me the healing that I'd gone through with her in these past several months. And she told me that together we have done a lot of healing, so what are you gonna do? And at that time, the Jaguar came down and he just locked eyes with me, and it was a serious, stern look. He was strong, he was powerful, and that was a reflection of the healing that had taken place with Mother Aya. I don't know what Mother Aya is up to, but I believe working with ayahuasca and helping other people heal is a part of my path. And I'm excited. I'm very hopeful for this path.
When I came to Ayahuasca, I felt depressed. I had a little bit of my mania here and there too, and it just I just felt kind of unbalanced. Leaving Ayahuasca, I'm very glad that I did it, and I feel much better. I feel in sync, I feel balanced. I feel like I'm in the flow of things now.
If I could just hear briefly, if you were talking to that 19-year-old man standing on that stage to an empty auditorium, what would you say to him now that you know now that you wouldn't have known then?
I would say don't quit and don't take things too personally.
Good advice.
And keep going on.
And keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
And harness the pain.
Yes.
Well, moving forward, let's say winter's approaching.
Yeah.
Got a bad day, a rough patch, bump in the road. How are you going to handle it?
I'm just going to think about this experience that I had and hope that that will remind me of the things I learned, and I'll be able to get through it.
And I would also suggest to you, you hum that song about your sister.
Yeah. I forgot how much I like that song.
And I would also suggest to you, you hold a winter ceremony at the winter solstice to welcome winter rather than reject winter.
Yeah.
And I do want to tell you one more time, it had nothing to do with your gift. It was all about business. But man, I love you, and I hope to hear from you, and please let us know how you're doing. Today, when I spoke with Travis as we were exiting, I'm gonna tell you, he was light as a feather. But like I told Travis, never forget, a good sailor is made in the eye of the hurricane, not in the bay.
After this weekend and these ceremonies, it's the first time in a long time that I've felt this comfortable with myself, and I feel whole. You know, Steve offering me to become his apprentice has meant the world to me.
Now, could you tell me what you were feeling as we were doing the ceremony last night?
Last night, I felt a deep connection to you, like I was right exactly where I was supposed to be at this moment and this time.
It's powerful. The spirits are comfortable with you, and I feel you're ready to take the next step if you choose. I don't want you to take this decision lightly because it's going to be a lifetime commitment.
Once you choose this path, it is your path, and you must follow it through. Right now, he has a choice, but once he makes that choice, he needs to follow through completely.
Thank you. This is an honor.
Thank you.
I definitely feel like I had a breakthrough last night. I think I let go of a lot of guilt and shame that I've been putting on myself.
Now, what's going to be your number one priority when you get home?
Just chilling and letting everything kind of settle, not getting back into the same habit of getting angry and judgmental and everything of everything that happens around me.
Right. And is there any questions for me before we depart?
No, sir. I have something for you guys. I just want to give you that. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now,
From one soldier to another, I know what this means to you. This is your combat medic badge.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure you wish to give this to me?
Yes, sir. You guys
I am
helped me out a lot.
honored. I am so honored.
Thank you so much.
You will be in my thoughts and prayers,
Thank you.
and this will be on our altar.
Yeah, and I hope you guys keep doing it. You guys are saving lives.
This will be sacred. Thank you.
Thank you.
she gave me her combat medic badge that she had in Afghanistan. As a soldier, I know what that combat badge meant to her. That to me was a symbol of her healing, because when she gave that to me, she let go of Afghanistan. I was in awe. I was humbled and honored.
I feel we have a lot of healing that was accomplished in the last few days. The difference that I see from the people that walk through this door and the people that are walking out of this door is huge. Your energy is lighter. I feel that you all have the coping mechanisms to make the changes that you feel is necessary.
The biggest lesson that I learned from Steve is it's okay to fail. Each failure is just one step closer to success.
I don't feel angry at all right now, which is amazing because I've been angry or depressed for at least the last 6 months. So this is awesome.
The healing that I've received from the first ceremony to this weekend, I'm forever grateful and indebted. It's a beautiful thing to see somebody broken and beaten down find some healing, find that release, make that connection, and find a sense of purpose. It's a true gift and a blessing to be able to do that for somebody.
Watching them leave one by one, and knowing I just casted another handful of seeds into the world to spread some love, some understanding, some compassion, that makes my world a better place. That makes my grandchildren's world a better place. And it makes my heart a better place.
On the whole, I'm doing a lot better. I'm getting out of the house a lot more now, dealing a lot better with people on a day-to-day basis. I think I'm a lot better at being empathetic and sympathetic.
A month after taking ayahuasca, I decided not to waste any more time and just move to LA. So here I am in Los Angeles.
I've accepted my apprenticeship, excited, can't wait to get started. And I I can't think of anything better to do to bring the medicine to the people.